Welcome to Pot of Thunder, the recognized symbol of excellence in rock and roll podcasting, brought to you by Blue Microphones. They look great. Oh, they sound even better. And you know who I am.
Slow down, Andy. Don't you hurt yourself. Or you go to the glue factory. Slow down, Andy.
Yes, it's your buddy Andy, America's little brother.
The 40-1 shot.
Oh yeah, what was his name? Was Rich something?
Or
Rich
80. He was in the 80
Rich
to 1.
Strike or
Rich
something
Strike.
like that.
My
It's
goodness.
Rich's porn name. No wonder he won.
Did you watch it?
No, I didn't.
I didn't watch it either. I don't typically watch
Our
that, but-
mom,
Yeah.
who was on the show last week, of course, she came over the weekend after the race,
Yeah.
made me pull it up. You got to see this.
I haven't seen it still.
So I watched it.
Yeah.
Kind of came out of nowhere and won.
Wow.
As he's walking back.
After he won.
So apparently they have an escort horse and rider. Each this is my understanding. You can correct me. Social media can correct me if I'm wrong here. But I guess you're in the Kentucky Derby. You're the jockey. You're riding on the featured horse. And then there's another horse nearby with some other guy on it, which is
It's all part of the same team?
The escort.
It's like an escort after the race.
Well,
Helps them, leads them to the winner's circle. I guess. I
Rich
don't
Strike, or whatever his name was, celebrated by continuously biting the other horse, his escort horse. Because my mom made me find just the certain video that she was watching earlier. She's like, you got to see this. Kept biting the other horse.
Oh,
I'm like, this is a champion, apparently.
That must be his way of celebrating. I told you. But that's pretty incredible. I think I saw something that said, I can't remember the year, but it was like the greatest upset in the Kentucky
Yeah.
Derby in like 90 years or something.
Sounds right. I mean,
like
80,
that,
80 to
yeah.
1. So Slow Down Andy was 40 to 1,
Yeah.
which means he would have finished the race in at least half the time that this one did if he were in it.
He would be the secretariat of the new millennium.
He wimped out, though. He had a fever.
A fever. He didn't feel good. Well, you know who does feel good? That man over there. You already heard him talk, but there he is. Polka dancing his way across the podcast studio. It's basketball shorts season, ladies and gentlemen.
On the couch, yes.
Yes. Nick Polak is here.
Whew.
Lot of leg in the room today. Weather changed quickly from 50 to 90 in the matter of 1 week.
It said 97 in my vehicle today.
Insane.
97.
Insane.
Thought I died.
Well, Nick Polak is here. Welcome to the program, Nick.
Thanks for... Yep.
We're glad to have you, as always.
I'll try not to bite you.
It depends
And
how good of a
you're-
show it is.
As you escort me through this podcast.
If you have a really great episode, you might be biting me all the way home. And over there, to your left, you want him. We got him.
I think we need a gunslinger. Somebody tough to tame this town. I think we need a gunslinger. And there'll be justice all around.
Put your hands together for the breakout star of the podcast medium. Chris L. is in the house. Here we
You
are.
recovered from that vocal performance?
I think now,
Jeez.
yes.
Finally, huh?
Yeah, he's in pain on that one.
Well, let's see if we find ourselves in pain today. Going back to the listener submission list, I think. I don't know.
We were there last week, and we
Yeah.
I know,
True.
But I just mean anytime we go there, pain
Yeah,
could be
that's
right
true.
around the corner.
Well, we can reject the pain.
That's
we don't
true.
have to settle for the pain anymore.
That's true. We don't have
It's
to.
our damn
We
show.
don't have to do anything. We
I'm
can
giving
do
it.
whatever we
I'm
want.
giving it 3 pulls,
Yeah.
and then all hell breaks loose if it's no good.
Really.
Yes.
You start biting the listener submission list.
Well, are you ready? Is there any-
Yeah. You want me to
right,
come over?
If we don't have to beat around the bush. We talked about horses already.
That was
plenty.
cross that off.
Yeah. All right. Well, here I'll pull the bozo pewter since you're on your way over.
Stand by. Let's go over to the Bozo Pewter.
Okay. So, Chris,
Yeah.
we're going to need you to pull this up. It's 1387.
Oh, yeah,
Sounds like
I'm
a pope
ready.
here.
Oh, it's got to be. 1387.
Yeah.
All right.
1387. I won't be mad at you, Nick.
This is a curious situation because it's a song I know, a song I like, but the artist had been covered in the not too distant past. So I think just for that reason, I'm gonna have to say no.
Okay.
But it's
Not
not, at all
even
because I
not
don't
even
like it.
keeping in the hopper.
No.
It's
Oh,
Bushwick.
wow, all
Here,
right.
while Chris looks for Pope facts, we will Bushwick this one.
Move along to the next trick.
I mean, I do want it, but
But not now.
it's just too close in proximity.
Yeah, that happens. All right. Any luck over there yet, Chris?
No real Pope stuff that I'm seeing, unfortunately. There's some other good stuff in here, but let's see what if we get another year.
Oh, nothing? You want to skip that one and go to the next
Well,
one?
we'll see what happens.
All
If
right.
it's in the future, obviously
Okay.
we can't do it. But
All right.
if we have to do this year, I've got something that's good. It's not Pope related. but-
Okay. Well, then I will pull it. Here we go. All right. 1815.
Let me look at that.
That's it's a few years off, but I was just listening to something earlier today about Jefferson Davis when he was Confederate president receiving a letter from the Pope at the time.
You get out of here.
kind of,
For-
sort of-
for that year.
No, it was what 1860 something. But
Oh,
it just
okay.
made me think of this.
All right.
That and it was used to sort of validate that they were a real country, that they got ahead of state to.
Oh, okay. The Pope says.
Yeah, the
Kind of thing.
Pope says we're a country. They said.
I guess that's how you decide. So, what do you think, Nick?
Oh boy. Oh wow. Can we put it in the hopper and look at one more?
We can
Okay.
hop.
Okay.
We can hop. We don't have a hopper song. I have to pull that up for next time.
What would be a good hopper song?
All right. Well, one more pull. I can't even go down this far. Oh my gosh. What was it? There's something like here. Yeah.
What's the
45,
number?
44. This is almost the last one
Yeah.
on the list.
What's the number? Oh yeah, it's in the future.
I don't know what that is.
Well, what does that mean? I mean, I know what
Can we-
that what that means, but what does the result of that turn us into?
Can you please show me the commentary? And so as
apparently
not to just discount it because I don't know it. That sentence makes no sense that the person submitted.
Yeah, you're not into that.
That's a disqualification.
It's out. All right. So what do? Do you go with 2 or do you go with magical number 4, which we don't know what it is, but apparently you said all hell breaks loose.
Well, all right, let me sit down here.
Think about it. Think about it while Chris gives us some Pope information.
I couldn't find any Pope information, but I got something interesting from 1387.
Okay.
Apparently, the exact date is not known, but it says, "Oh boy, I don't know if I can pronounce this." Khan Toktamish, Khan Toktamish of the Golden Horde invades the Timurid Empire, but has to withdraw soon after due to heavy snow.
I didn't expect you to say that.
What
What is he? The local school system?
yeah, exactly. What an invasion is reversed because of heavy snow? Didn't they have weather forecasters back then? Jesus.
Apparently not.
The snow is just way too much.
Where was this at? What was this country?
I don't know.
Countries we didn't even know.
The Timurid Empire, which I
Sounds
don't
like
know what
Star
country
Wars.
they are.
Super
but, yeah.
Timor. perhaps. There wouldn't be snow there, though.
The Ivory Coast of Africa.
Yeah, I
Really,
don't-
it's a Persian thing, so
Ah, those Persians.
yeah.
I wouldn't understand.
They were the in-laws of the line of Genghis Khan, apparently. Mongolia.
All I can say is when you read these facts, I'm so happy I wasn't alive back then.
Oh, it's subhuman behavior.
Yeah. Snow.
Yeah. Yeah. Hey,
Snow
we're
in
we're
Persia.
calling it, guys. Let's reverse it. Let's go back. No, it's too much snow here. I was under the impression the weather would be nicer in this country we invaded. No thanks. Not interested.
We need it
Yeah,
done.
we don't want it. So what are you gonna do, Nick?
Oof.
So 1 and 3 are out.
One and 3 are out.
Okay.
Yeah. 1, a lot of people would know, I think, but I decided against it. 3, I don't know that I've ever heard of it.
It's
And
always
I
a
wouldn't.
dangerous
Yeah.
undertaking. You've been burned so many times.
Yeah.
I'm the one, I'd say, out of all 3 of us who's gotten stuck with that more.
Pretty much.
Nick's more open-minded.
Well,
And it bites him
and
sometimes.
adventurous, and
Yeah.
that should not be penalized. But on this show, of course, it is
Unfortunately.
because
yeah.
of our shitheel listeners submitting crap.
Well,
Yeah.
oof. 2, I mean, it's an artist we've covered,
Sure.
not from the album.
At least once.
Not from an
Maybe
album that
twice.
we've covered. We've covered the artist. Actually, this album's right in between the two that we've done.
Okay.
Yeah, I'll go
Yeah,
for it.
yeah.
I don't think I can really say no to this.
Now, why are you not going with All Hell Breaks Loose? Too much?
Do you want me to go All Hell Breaks
No, I'm
Loose?
just curious what your decision making is. I want you to do what you want to do. I'm just
I thought if I got 3 that are just
Terrible.
I don't care about any of these, then I would I would release the Fury.
Yeah.
And it's the same Fury Andy was threatening to release
okay.
a couple of weeks ago.
Okay.
It will be released.
It will be, yeah.
But
sooner or
this
later.
song is standing in the way of that,
Yeah, that's fair.
saving the listeners.
Okay.
So yeah, I'll go with it.
All right.
I can't say no to this one.
All right. Well, then let's turn the microphone over to Chris Jericho.
All right, Harold. This one's called
The Prisoner,
Off of
Number of the Beast,
by the band.
Iron Maiden.
Ow! Who?
All right. So this one came to us from Jim Groff. Jim says,
Is it only on there once?
It's only on there once.
That's kind of hard to believe, but okay.
Jim says, "Love your show." Thanks, Jim.
Love you too.
Thank you, Jim. I think it's only. I mean, it's only on here once, but sometimes people will do like a
The Iron Maiden.
yeah, something like that, or like put a space in it and it pushes it to the bottom. But yeah, I only see it once.
Okay.
Yeah. All right. So, initial thoughts, Chris?
I don't believe I've ever heard this one.
Oh wow.
Yeah, I'm not much of a deep cut Maiden guy, except for whatever might have appeared on some live albums or anything. So just simply by the title, I'm not sure I've ever heard this one.
I would venture to guess that you probably had at some point. I don't know that I would. Andy, would you say this is qualify as a deep cut? I'd say it's a pretty well-known Maiden song.
I guess it'd be like in between, right?
but
Like
maybe
not greatest hits.
Maybe
but
not one that's been in the set list for a long, long time.
I know there's a cover of it on the first Fozzy album.
Really?
Yeah. I know that.
It's well, I won't go too far into it, but let's see. This is what 82. This album came out.
1982.
Yes.
I don't have it up, but so The Prisoner is a reference to 1967 BBC television show, which I've never really watched, but I'm fairly certain the intro is taken directly from it.
Oh, okay. That's what that is. The
I think so.
number one.
Yeah.
Number 4,
So,
whatever it is.
Yeah, so we've got some sort of
All right. Tell me, do you know anything about the show or no? Like, is it a serious? Was it like a very dramatic thing, or is it like this
I think it's like
cheeky British
no
business?
I think it's like a sci-fi kind of thing. Let's
okay.
see. I'm looking avant-garde social science fiction television series.
Oh, okay.
That's a lot. That's a lot to digest.
It is. Social science fiction.
So yeah, and it's no secret that Steve Harris will just name a song something
And then write about
and then
thing.
write about that thing, and it's a recipe for success,
Yeah.
and people love it, myself included.
And it's worked for how many years now?
I'm
40 plus.
yeah. So
Yeah. So what do we got here? Track 3 of 8. Pretty stacked album, huh?
it's I would say Killers has a slight edge song-wise, but Number of the Beast, it's really hard to top.
Well, plus this is the opening salvo of Dickinson.
Yeah.
Not this song specifically, but the album. So
Yeah. Okay. 6 minutes. Damn. That's
Oh,
actually
I didn't-
pretty reasonable
I
for
didn't
Iron
even,
Maiden.
Yeah, I didn't even think it was that long.
Yeah, it's
It'll fly by.
6:02. Yeah, that's fine.
now, is this a song that it's made it into live set at all fairly recently, or do we know this?
I doubt it, but I don't know.
Yeah, I haven't researched it, but I haven't seen a recent version of it pop up, so I couldn't tell you. But one of my all-time favorite hard rock drummers will be doing his thing during this song.
You might be the world's biggest Clive Burr fan.
He could be.
Not that it's a bad thing.
I don't know anything about him really. Just the drumming on these Maiden albums is absolutely incredible. It's not topped anywhere else in hard rock as far as I'm concerned.
Including the Nico albums, or you
Including,
yeah,
Anywhere in hard rock.
definitely
not
unique.
just a Maiden.
Definitely two unique drummers.
yeah. But Burr had a bit more of a just straight ahead driving. I almost want to say maybe an influence from like the whole punk new wave thing going on, where it was keep it going.
Yeah, it's like 16th notes.
Yeah.
Fast.
Well, and that's
yeah.
kind of, they had that element, in the early incarnations with Deanna on vocals, and so I mean that makes sense.
They did this live at Donington Monsters of Rock in '88.
Wow.
I see a video on YouTube from 2014, but I don't see much.
Okay.
2012. So here and there.
So they throw it in, but I don't think it's a staple of the it's not like
It's not an every show thing.
no,
Definitely
I don't think it's a Hallowed Be Thy Name kind of frequency.
No. Where they have to play it, or
Yeah.
they're getting beers tossed at them. You know what's a fun thing that Maiden seems to do? I mean, I'm not a huge... there's people who listen who know every single detail ever about Maiden and everything they do. But it seems like sometimes they'll just be like, we're going to play a bunch of songs from this random album, even though it's not a classic, quote-unquote, the classic album, or it's not the most recent, but they just get like... Like, I saw them in... I'm going to guess my year here, maybe 2010? And they played like 5 songs from the 2000 album, the Brave New World. Like, why are they?
That's
They're just like
interesting.
banging them out from that album. Like, I don't
Yeah.
know why, but they felt like it.
Every once in a while you hear Can I Play with Madness?
Yeah,
And it's like, all right, they're playing this.
yeah.
Yeah, they're not like a Kiss or a lot of these other legacy bands who seem to be more interested in pandering to the casual fan that's probably there in an arena setting. There's probably likely that there's plenty of those types of fans there. They do the opposite. I mean, not all the time. Sometimes they, when I saw them, I think like 4 or 5 years ago, Book of Souls tour, I think. They played some of the newer stuff, but I mean, it was pretty much a best of set aside from that. So there was no, no chicanery with the set list that night other than what you'd expect, playing some stuff from the new album. But it was a great show. My first time seeing them.
Great band.
Well, a live
Great.
show is you get your money's worth.
Absolutely.
You know, I still have the DVD from the Raising Hell pay-per-view. With the
Simon.
I don't remember his last name.
Simon Magic Man. What was his name?
The magician. Yeah, that was bizarre, but looking back, pretty cool.
Yeah, it's kind of cheesy though when you look
That's
back.
extremely cheesy.
I think we watched it when it was on.
Yes.
But we were children, and it didn't seem cheesy to me then. But when you watch it now, it's a little bit cheesy.
It's extremely.
Yeah. What was that guy's name? Simon Gorshin? Oh, Simon Birch was that his name?
No, that was the guy who produced the album. No, that was a. I made that
That was a great
for people who
throwback.
don't remember. I instead of Martin Birch when he of course when he passed away too. You got everybody's being serious. I'm like, oh, Simon Birch. You're like, no, that's like the
movie about that.
the movie about the
Little
kid
boy.
with the growth kind of issue
He kills Ashley Judd with a
with
baseball.
a baseball. Yeah, oof. So this is co-written by Adrian Smith. Just thought that would be a relevant piece of information.
So Harris Smith collaboration.
Yeah.
Okay.
Wonder
That's
if
a good collaboration.
wonder if he's playing this one with Kotzen right now. I've only seen Wasted Years, but
Why is that a combo? They're just buddies, and they.
I don't know. but
Kotzen
that
seems to
isn't-
be in with a lot of people.
I know
They
he
like
can
jamming
play.
with them.
I just
Yeah.
wonder why those guys decided let's do some shows. Yeah.
Oh, but it's cool.
Well, they have a whole album out apparently.
Right. Yeah. They must live near each other and be buds.
Well, it's cool to see Adrian Smith sing the lead on some stuff.
Yeah. All right. Are you guys ready?
Apparently, Smith and Kotzen have played this song.
Oh, I'm gonna have to check it out then.
Yeah.
Let's take a quick commercial break.
Oh.
We're going to stop. We're going to go check out a live version of this, and we'll be right back with more Pot of Thunder.
We want information. 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 Who are you? The new.
I always love the way that guy says,
Who are you?
Who are you?
And then and then these are the most frustrating answers that he's gonna get to.
Yeah. Yeah.
You number 2. Who is number 1? You are number 6. I am not a number. I am a free man.
Okay.
It sounds like the director's cut of Strange Brew, basically. Like that kind of dialogue back and
Like
forth,
the
just
hockey scene.
nonsensical idiocy, with Max von Sydow somehow involved.
That weird hockey scene.
Oh
Oh, yeah. You showed me that one.
That's bizarre to the max.
No goal, man in the crease, eh? Fucking the whole movie is weird. I mean, there's just so off kilter. You gotta love it. They just, we talked about this recently, and we're going off a major tangent here, but whatever. What else is new? The Strange Brew Mackenzie Brothers thing. That was gained so much popularity. And then they come out with this subversive, weird movie. You just have to respect that. I mean, they could have done something more conventional, like a Wayne's World, and like really, like, no pun intended, taken off with it. But that movie is so fucking off and weird. It's,
Well,
you gotta love that they chose to do that.
And it, yeah, I mean, it was so popular. And then in the movie, they thought, what should we do to? Were they thinking about boosting the brand at that point, or were they just thinking, let's be weird and have Mel Blanc having carnal knowledge with himself?
Yeah, I mean, where
in
does
one
that
of the
come
scenes.
from? I mean, yeah, they were not. If they thought that was going to boost the brand, they were wrong, because it is just not palatable to. Again, going back, bringing this back around to the Maiden thing, it's like that was not to pander to the casual movie fan.
Yeah.
That was like you're hardcore into Second City SCTV. Mm-hmm. And you appreciate what these guys can bring to the table from that sort of subversive element. So yeah, this was not an attempt to break through to the casual comedy or movie fan with that movie.
That's what
so
happens.
Fucking hilarious.
That's what happens when Lorne Michaels isn't there to say no.
That's a good point, actually.
Perhaps.
'Cause those guys weren't affiliated with him at that point. were
No,
they?
but I just mean, like, you mentioned Wayne's World. Those movies go through the prism of Lorne Michaels, even if he's not the
Yeah.
director, but he's like, we're not doing that.
And
We've built this up and we're
it's
trying
clearly,
to push it.
Yeah, it's clearly aimed toward more commercial success in that environment. But yeah, I mean, when you got their dog Hosehead rolling up the roof because the feds spot him.
The whole. Yeah, we could go on and on about Strange Brew, but what a incredible movie, and you have to tip your hat to people who are on the verge of major success and just choose to reject it to just do what they felt like doing.
I mean, you still hear their Christmas song, their 12 Days of Christmas.
Yeah, occasionally.
So they're still. It's a ghost of a sort of a phenomenon, but it's still.
That's not from the movie, right?
No, I don't.
Okay,
No, that
it's
was
from
just
the
they had records.
Yeah, that's the thing. The comedy album was like a huge thing when I was in high school, and everybody was anticipating the movie coming out. When the movie came out, most people were like, "What the fuck is this?" They couldn't wrap their mind around it, but just absolutely hilarious, ridiculous, weird, all of it.
That was like the Freddy Got Fingered of your high
Pretty
school.
much, yeah. That's a good analogy, I would say.
It's pretty much exactly what happened. Everybody was excited to see that movie, and they saw it, and they said, "What is this? It's terrible."
Yeah, but
he's masturbating a horse.
Then
he masturbates an elephant. The same movie.
Yeah, but that's more conceivable given his previous prior material, output. It was a little more conceivable in that case. But the Great White North sketches going into the movie, it's a little.
Yeah.
It got deeper. It was almost like, say, if you're in a band or something like that, and you've only played a few shows, and you're like, man, I'm kind of sick of our set list. It's like the audience isn't.
Yeah, they don't even know. They're just getting to know you, right?
Yeah, but you're kind of.
Let's change everything.
You're not giving them a chance, maybe in that case.
I mean, yes. So we'll circle that back around to Maiden and say that to pull out a Strange Brew set list equivalent is not generally not advisable for a band of their stature.
All right, here we go.
Clive Burr being iconic.
That's it.
I'd say this definitely qualifies. Over the years, we've had songs where we're like, this is an iconic drum intro. Everybody knows what it is when they hear it.
Yep.
This song definitely qualifies to be in that league.
Yeah.
This is one where immediately you know what it is.
Yeah, and it's nice and well. This is Martin Birch is involved in this, right?
He produced it. I'm pretty sure.
Yeah,
we're still laughing about Simon.
Yeah, just because I'm an idiot.
Right, but I mean the drum sound is exquisite. The kick drum is super punchy. The snare drum sounds like a snare drum, and it's very organic sounding, which is what you want. And he always did a great job of getting great drum sound, whether it was Deep Purple or White Snake or Maiden, and that's really where it all starts. You got a good drummer and you got a good drum sound, the rest of it can fall into place.
like that it's just a part that had no relationship to the next part, kind of.
Yeah, just an intro.
Yeah.
I'm looking up. I've never seen The Prisoner, but as we were listening to that, I'm just reading up on it a little bit. So there was, and I don't know, but there's some sort of I guess a character. I don't know. When people try to escape, there's a balloon-like automaton named Rover that recaptures or kills those who attempt to escape, and it's just like a big white ball. So this is got the makings of a very bizarre television program.
Yeah, it's almost a Kubrickian.
Yes, I'm getting that impression.
Vibe.
That line always, I kill to eat.
Yeah.
I don't know about the show, but
Well, apparently.
I'm assuming the guy's on the run.
Sounds like it.
He's hunting down beasts
Yeah.
for nourishment.
Is it like, well, I guess we'd have to see the show.
I'm going to have to watch it, yeah. Hopefully it's on YouTube. I can just bring it up later, but...
If you successfully escape, is there a world outside of it where you're a free man? I don't know.
Intrigued. I think, I'd seen the classic albums episode about this.
Oh,
album,
yeah.
Where they really make a point of talking about the opening line of the title track.
Yeah.
And how he had to do it 80-something times before Mr. Birch finally said, yes, that's a keeper.
Mm-hmm.
But, I guess when you're doing that, you're scrutinizing the vocal performance that much, you get something like this, which I
Yeah.
think is a perfect mixture of his ability to kind of do the rough sounding scratchy voice a little bit,
Yeah.
like the guttural, I guess we'll call it, and the more operatic, like transitioning from one to the other rather gracefully here.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I was going to say, this first line in the song was very Diano sounding, and as the song progresses, it's like you wonder if this song was in the works for the next album with Diano, and then they replaced him because you could hear, maybe not with the higher register stuff, but doing it in his wheelhouse, you could hear Diano doing this.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I have never found out for sure if there are not any demos of some of the songs that exist. I'd heard rumors, but then contradicting stuff. Like I'll look into it, and it's like Diano. I don't know if I think he claimed that he did do a couple of demos for this album. I don't know that it got as far as into the actual studio, for the album cuts, but
Yeah.
I'd heard some conflicting things. I just think it would be awesome if there was something out there that became available. It would be like the last thing that YouTube hasn't uncovered, basically.
Pretty
Which
much it.
makes me think it doesn't exist.
Yeah.
Because how could something like that not have been found? You can find the most off the wall, you would think private, locked up recordings,
Right.
but this, for some reason, I've never been able to track down. So,
What does it mean when you say I'm nature's beast? Like, does that mean that he's like the ultimate animal or something?
I'm trying to find a quote from our text from earlier. I blew it though. I'm taking too long.
Okay. Do what I want and do as I please.
I guess so. I guess he's been put into this primitive setting, and he's got a. Oh yes, it's actually Chris and I had a sidebar thing earlier.
No.
I think it constitutes beastly usage.
Oh yeah, there you go. Yeah. Yes. It's a new phrase we've coined.
I guess so. I mean, I'm intrigued by I know the song very, very well, so I'm actually kind of thinking about what the show might be like.
Yeah.
And so I am focusing on the song, but I'm trying to make the connections here. So, and in my head, it's a weird show in my head. I don't know if it quite will measure up in reality.
Well, we'll find out. But let's keep going here. It's tough. Seems like they were. I don't know. I'm not criticizing such a masterpiece, but it's funny that it's tough. I don't know. After all the other things they said,
It's a bit of an understatement.
yeah, it is.
Yeah, I'll give you that.
yeah.
I would agree.
All this heavy stuff about what's going on. And he's already told us. Basically, he's killing. He's killing prey in the wild.
He's basically an animal at this point.
It's tough.
It's a living.
Yeah.
You know?
He's being hunted.
Could be the essentially the soundtrack for those fugitives who the prison guard who bounced the prisoner.
Oh man.
And were on the run for 11 days.
Were they found?
They were run into a ditch and in a car chase with the police, and the prison guard blew her head off.
Oh,
really?
Yeah, you didn't hear about
No.
that?
That happened today?
No, this was like 2-3 days ago.
Oh.
Did not know that.
Yeah, they tracked him.
Man.
Tracked him down. There was a bit of a high-speed chase. They forced him into a ditch, but when they got to the car, she had put a bullet in her own head.
Jeez.
The guy is still alive, though, but he's going to a prison for problem prisoners. So I think he would fit the bill of that description.
Yeah. I wonder what they were eating when they were on the run.
Wild animals.
Probably
Armadillos, probably.
Yeah.
Beef jerky from various gas stations.
Even when everybody's looking
rewrite
for it?
this song.
Payday bars. King size payday bars.
Spicy pickle in a bag.
Pretty much everything we would eat on our way back and forth to an indie Kiss Expo, for example.
Yeah.
Stop at a Steak and Shake occasionally.
Stop and urinate in a field real quick.
There you go.
Yeah.
Out. So I think all three of us at the same time were noticing the really, really great bass parts that were being put in right before the whole song. Steve Harris is a fantastic bass player.
Yep.
Let's just put the obvious out there, but really, really noticeable parts, the standout parts, and then we got a very, very hooky, very catchy chorus. I don't know again, I don't know what is really being talked about here. Why is he a prisoner? What's going on? I don't know. But even not having any idea what's going on lyrically, those lyrics are very accessible.
Yeah.
Like for the chorus. You don't have to know.
Yeah, you don't have to know.
It's a great chorus, great memorable chorus.
It's not quite like on the level of a Rush lyric where you're like, what the hell are they talking about?
Like before the motor laws. What motor laws? What happened?
Well, yeah, I'm, trying to look up the literary references and all that other bullshit that was going on. Yeah, not much of that, certainly not in this song. But no, they never went full on Rush with their lyrics.
And I want to say the first time I ever heard this chorus, I didn't know what the song was, because I'm pretty sure it was in a Beavis and Butthead episode, and they just started singing it to no music.
Oh, really?
Yeah, they started singing the chorus of The Prisoner.
That's funny.
Not sure why, but they did.
You might have to go back and watch it. Maybe there's a big white bubble trying to capture them. Weird show too.
Yeah.
If you kill me, it's self-defense. If I kill you, then I call it vengeance. Spit in your eye, I will devour. You'll be afraid when I call out your name. Run, fight, flee. It's gonna be tough. Now you say me. And now you don't. Break the walls. I'm coming out. Not a prisoner. I'm a free man.
Just high octane.
Yeah.
Love it.
Well, yeah, when, you know, after the intro, they kick it in the next gear, and they really don't let up, and it's got that. Maybe not necessarily, maybe not the quintessential Iron Maiden galloping tempo, but it's just, you know, up tempo, pedal to the metal at this point and throughout. So
Yeah, and I mean, listen to the drums too. How great! How just
Drums and bass are incredible.
yeah, how spectacular,
Everything else is just gravy on top of it.
and it's perfect,
And it's all
too.
great,
Yeah, I mean, but it's just the drums and the bass together are so incredible. Mm-hmm. Just I know everybody says the first album wasn't recorded very well. Still great. Still great performances.
sure, yeah.
Killers in this, off the charts.
Yeah, and the thing about, you know, when the drums and the bass are this spectacular, and especially when Harris is going up in the upper register and that just kind of takes over the mix, you know. At that point, the guitar players are essentially falling back into the bass player role, and you don't lose anything. I mean, normally it'd be like, oh, the bottom drops out. Risk losing some of that power. You don't lose any of that when Maiden goes into that, because like I said, when the bass steps forward, the guitarists step back and lay down that foundation. You don't lose any of what's going on. Everything is always, you know, where you want it to be. It's just being created by different sets of instruments depending on who's coming forward and pulling back at any given time.
And Maiden's always very unique sonically compared to other bands. And I guess would it come from Harris being the boss is why the bass gets featured so prominently, why he's going to those upper registers, why he's playing stuff that would be the focal point.
Like a lead.
Yeah, almost like a lead.
Well, it would be more of like it's similar to Motorhead in that regard, where, you know, he's essentially, well, Lemmy was more of a rhythm guitarist on the bass, but it occasionally would take a solo, like in Stay Clean or something like that. I don't think it's a case of Steve Harris necessarily forcing himself on the other guys in the band. It's just, this is what I do. This is the band we're putting together. This is what it's going to sound like, and this is it, you know? And it's basically just playing off the strengths of everybody in the band, everybody understanding what everybody else is doing and fitting into a role, stepping forward, pulling back. It's just, it's masterful ensemble playing. And I don't think it's like, I don't think it was like a dictatorship. I was just like, I just think that it came together organically that way. It's been like that since the beginning.
a snare and tom at the same time? Is that why it sounds like that?
I'm gonna have to. I don't know.
That's an Eric Carr move.
It is.
Uh-oh.
We need our friends from Maiden A to Z to help us out here.
That's true. I was just thinking about that. No, but I'm gonna focus on the drums a little bit more. Just
Yeah, I didn't really pick up on any of that, but Clive Burr was not rocking the Charlie Watts jazz kit. Let's put it that way.
No.
He had plenty of drums at his disposal, as does Nico. So yeah, lots of options for him to be embellishing the beat with.
I guess Dave Murray didn't get a mention yet.
No?
No, always solid though.
Well, I was gonna say, listening to that, and I'm not an expert enough to know necessarily who's playing what, but I think that it sounded to me like it started off as a Murray solo, and then Adrian Smith came in and closed it out.
It was hard to tell. I'm not as well versed as well, but yeah, it sounded like a switcheroo there.
And it's the same with Priest.
Yeah,
in a lot of albums, they'll actually spell out who's like the order of the soloing. Because Tipton played a higher percentage of the solos than Downing, but essentially indistinguishable to me just because I'm not that super versed on the band. But if I had to guess, I would say Murray started it out and Adrian Smith finished it out. But I could be wrong about that. I've been wrong before. I will be wrong again.
That line, I never knew there was a different usage or different connotation for the phrase "your black book." I always thought it was your little black book.
Yeah, what? Just because I'm a prisoner on the lam doesn't mean you can't date me anymore. We can't go out to dinner.
Scratch me from your little black book.
Yeah, don't lose my number. I mean, why? It seems odd for an escaped convict to start restricting his love interests, but
Do you think
who knows?
Do you think that's ever actually existed? That
what?
The phenomenon of guys having a little black book.
Well,
I mean, I'm sure
from somewhere.
I'm sure at times, but it's such a I don't know. I mean, it's such an identifiable thing when you hear someone say it that it seemed to be like at one point in time, it was a thing that apparently every guy.
Well, those things just don't come out of nowhere. I'm sure it was a thing, hate to break this to you, Nick, but we didn't always have these smartphones with us, and you had to know phone numbers and write them down, and that was a thing.
But I mean, like you hear in old movies or old TV shows, they'll be like looking.
It's always like salacious,
and
right?
they're looking through it. They're like, oh, Dorothy. Let's
Like a
see.
bunch of
Yeah, and
a
there's
bunch
like a
of whores
rating
in his-
system.
Yeah, rating system. A few notes.
Yeah, like Larry on Three's Company.
Yeah,
There was an
yeah.
episode where he had to give up his black book, and he had a star rating system next to it.
That seems ridiculous, nonsensical, but
Yeah, but I think first of all, it doesn't become ubiquitous in the vernacular unless it was a thing.
Yeah.
And then I'm sure, once it became a thing, companies were marketing specific black books for that purpose, and it just
wonder-
takes on a life of its own.
I wonder. I'm gonna look that up later. See if they actually had little black books with, like empty stars for you to fill in and
okay, here's my interpretation of it. I
categories.
I'm going to predict that I'm correct. I'm assuming it's just you have all the key phone numbers that you need to get through life in your little black book. But in some of these stories, the guy speaking is some kind of Lothario who has tons of
Yes.
phone numbers of women. But in the everyday case of most people, it's like, these are all the numbers I need to get. If I'm out somewhere and I have to stop at a payphone,
Yeah.
these are all the numbers. But
Well-
if you're this gigolo
Exactly. And
that's being
it's,
portrayed in these stories,
it's
then-
one of those things where it seems like there's a disconnect between what's feasible in real
Yeah,
life.
I agree with
It's kind
that.
of like watching a Seinfeld, maybe just a string of Seinfeld episodes that are consecutive.
Mm-hmm.
It's like, okay, so let's see. George dated 6 different models. Jerry dated 6 different models. Kramer dated like 3 different models.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
So there's a disconnect, I think, between that and real life.
Yeah.
But I just wonder, to what extent was it where you had these 2-bit gigolos walking around with their little black books?
And also, you could kind of you could imagine that, like, okay, you have numbers of people you dated or you went out with, and maybe things didn't work out or whatever, and you've moved on to someone else. But in those stories, it's always like, I can call any of these women at any time, and they'll be here. So it's
Exactly.
like, who am I gonna? What's my flavor of the night?
Which,
kind of thing.
yeah, like the Tommy Aldrich story from Rudy Sarzo's book,
Right. Okay.
where anytime he pulled into town, it was all arranged.
Well, his is
A car to pick him up with a woman in it.
so he's a real life 2-bit gigolo. As you
I
said.
wouldn't say he's 2-bit.
He's a 3-bit gigolo.
He's Tommy Aldrich, and he just performed with Whitesnake last night,
Where at?
Dublin.
Oh, wow.
I don't know. It was
Yeah.
just like a big deal because it was the first show.
Show of the two.
I was like,
right
Tommy
now.
Aldrich still sounds great. He'll never not sound great.
No, it's not going to happen. But it was a real thing, and like I said, I'm sure like things like this specifically marketed for it. I mean, it's still available for sale. The embossed silver lettering says "Little Black Book" on it. It's like you whip that out. In modern times, you're probably going to look like an asshole.
Yeah.
I don't know who would buy this, but
No one.
Well, I mean, people love vinyl again.
That's true.
Little
Maybe
black
time
little
for-
black books can't be far behind.
Yeah, people want the tactile.
There's the
Experience.
description here. There's for something very telling in
Oh.
the description. I want you to hear it. Okay. Blah, 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 blah. Includes information on area codes,
Okay.
international dialing codes, and important toll-free numbers.
That's straight out of the past.
It is,
Important toll-free
right? You're
numbers.
right. Yes. So, the Lothario, when the Lothario strikes out, he needs to call a sex hotline, and he keeps those in his little black book as well. So, yeah, pretty hilarious stuff.
All right, let's finish this one here.
See, it went by quicker than a 6-minute song.
It did. I agree with
Usually
you.
would.
It definitely did. But now, Nick, you brought this song to the show. You have to vote. Sweet Surrender or Kick in the Crotch.
Of course, it's incredibly Sweet Surrender. We're talking those maple candies that Andy likes.
Maple nut goodies?
Maple nut goodies. That's how sweet the surrender is.
It's sweet surrender. Hell yes.
Last time I went to Tractor Supply, I threw a tantrum because they didn't have any maple nut goodies.
Well, we've
I
all
walked around the candy thing in circles like 5 times looking for them. What's happening?
Why
here?
would they even turn the sign in the window from closed to open if that's the case?
Yeah, that's not right.
Supply chain issues.
Yeah, blame it on COVID.
Yeah.
Well, got to make your own maple nut goodies these days.
I think I'm gonna have to.
Yeah. I mean, I spent the whole song praising it. Quick recap: Dickinson sounds great in his debut album here for Maiden.
Yeah.
The whole band sounds great, particularly Harris and Burr together. They had, and this is not, of course, I don't think anybody's assuming I'm knocking Nico or anything like that, because I'm not really talking about him much. But it just, you can't get better than the Clive Burr era, in my opinion. And I don't want to sound like somebody who's like, they've not come out with anything good since then. They've come out with a million great things since then. But this is just, to me, it's what connects.
Yeah.
Like it's just perfectly played, sounds incredible. It creates a mood, and it's just, it's not toppable, in my opinion.
Mm-hmm. Chris, Sweet Surrender, Kick in the Crotch.
Not as enthusiastic as Nick, but still a sweet surrender for me.
It's sweet surrender. Hell yes.
I think it's a nice bridge between the Di'Anno and Dickinson eras. Like I said, I could, hear some Di'Anno-isms in Dickinson's vocals, which have pretty much gone away completely over the years, pretty quickly actually. But I don't know if it was just a conscious thing that he was trying to fit in or whatever was going on, but there were bits in there where I thought he sounded like Di'Anno, and I could also imagine Di'Anno singing this one, albeit differently, but this is one he could have delivered if he had to.
Yeah.
I didn't think the chorus was as catchy as Nick thinks it is. And overall, it was good. I enjoyed it, but I'm not over the moon about it. Let's put it that way. But yeah, I don't recall ever hearing that before. It was good, especially like the half tempo intro, and then they kick it into gear. But yeah, Sweet Surrender for me.
I too will give a Sweet Surrender.
It's sweet surrender. Hell yes.
I'm gonna say top 10 Maiden song for me.
I'd go with that too.
One of my faves.
Yeah.
Incredible. We already said it, but just recapping, incredible drum and bass performance together. I could listen to that over and over, and it would be cool. Like you said, there's everything exists on YouTube. I've never tried to look for it, but I wonder if there are any isolated.
I'd be shocked if it didn't.
Yeah.
Yeah, because it was probably on some sort of Guitar Hero.
And that's usually the source of those things, right?
Yeah.
Oh, well, guess what, guys? My mouse decided to disconnect from Bluetooth.
Shit Apple product.
Damn thing.
All right, Hammond, I got a question for you.
Oh, now you're connected. Thanks a lot. Just decided to go to sleep on me.
Cheeky mouse.
Cheeky British mouse.
We can just do it with this music. You don't have to put the rage music on, but I just want to read a 1-star review of a little black book that I found.
For sale on Amazon?
Yes.
Okay.
1-star review. This is garbage. It arrived with stains on it. Just like others said.
Oh, jeez.
Why is this a #1 product? It's junk. Take a look at those photos. That's straight out of the box, seconds after delivery.
Wow.
Somehow got a used black book.
Had
Which
a
is not what you want.
Stains.
So, how often do you open up an Amazon package with your phone in hand, ready to take an immediate photo seconds after delivery?
I can't say that it's ever happened to me.
Yeah, it's not top of mind. I don't automatically assume that the delivery is going to be faulty for any reason.
No, and I'm not someone who thinks about reviewing things often, unless it's exceptional or terrible. But it's not top of mind when I receive something that the world needs to know what I think of this.
Like a product, something like that. I mean, I don't know. I've left a couple good reviews for our boy Bob over at Import Auto Group.
Oh, there you
because
go.
I think he deserves it. But
Yeah.
just some random item. Like my protein powder that I've been taking since the first year. I don't feel the need to fucking review that. I mean, it's fine. It's what I expect it to be. I don't need to take time out of my day to leave a goddamn review for fucking protein powder, you know. And there are thousands of reviews. It's like people. Okay, I'm going down a tangent, but again, the internet has given a voice to people who shouldn't have a voice in anything.
Oh,
and
yeah.
I'll just leave it at that.
Yeah.
So I know a guy who fairly recently was telling me it had to do with automotives. There was a local business, and he was very dissatisfied with his experience with this place. Left a bad Yelp review.
Mm-hmm.
Guy from the place called him.
Jeez. How?
I don't know. Well, I mean, I guess in his review he figured out, oh, this is this guy.
And he was a customer whose
Yeah.
number he had for
Yeah.
whatever the interaction was.
So the guy called him, basically trying to sweet talk him into changing the review to a positive one.
Oh, it means something.
Apparently, this is a thing that could happen.
But that's the other thing. It's like that's the problem with these reviews is that they have a legitimate impact on businesses.
Yeah.
yeah,
And these creeps who expect everything know they have that power and they'll wield it, at will. And it's horse shit. It's that whole whoever coined the term "the customer is always right." A, never owned a business, and B, should be fucking executed. I'm sure they're probably long dead already, which is good. One of the most off-base, ridiculous slogans that's become part of the vernacular in human history. Nothing could be further from the truth.
I think it's
Fuck
all
these
but
customers.
I think it's all but abandoned at this point, though.
No, well,
I don't know that that's the philosophy anymore. I almost get run down every time I go to the store. Like the employees don't even
They don't care
they don't
anymore.
let customers walk by. They're kind of like, get out of my way.
that might just be you.
Chris,
Let's
see
push
this guy.
We can push this guy around a little bit.
Look at this pushover. Fuck him.
I'm gonna let off some steam
Yeah,
on this guy right here.
That's in the break room. It says that on the posters. It's got the cat hanging onto the tree.
If you see this guy, run him down in the aisle.
him.
Well, I think that's more of a statement of just the workforce in general. The quality of it, especially for service industry jobs, has never been lower.
Yeah.
So
true.
it's a combination of things. But I'm talking specifically about assholes who write these reviews. It's just like, dude, come up with something better to do with your time. I mean, for God's sake, and they get these. Titles of power reviewer and all this stuff, and it just feeds their ego. And
Is that real?
I've seen it.
Oh,
I
goodness.
think you could see it on Amazon.
Power reviewer.
Or I don't know if that's
Yeah.
exactly the
But
term.
they get a
but,
badge for it.
Wasn't
yeah,
that
exactly.
Wasn't that 2 albums after Number of the Beast? Was Power Reviewer?
Sounds more like a Priest album.
Beastly reviewer would be the moniker I'd put on it. But anyway, going down a crazy tangent. But people suck, and the internet is given a voice to hundreds of thousands, if not millions, of people who should not be heard from in any capacity. They should keep their mouths shut and realize that they're not quality individuals on this planet and should not be influencing anybody.
I was gonna say, I think
It
we
may or may not include me, but we'll leave it at that.
we've known each other for like 20 years. I think 20 years this year sometime. And I think that's one of the first conversations I ever had with you was about the customer's always right thing being horseshit.
Oh, fuck that,
You
man.
were mad at someone at your cafe for some reason.
Telling you, whoever coined that phrase never owned a business. That's all I'm gonna say, because it's complete bullshit.
All right.
I'm looking it up, actually.
Is it bullshit?
There's a picture of a guy, of Marshall Field himself.
What, he started it?
I don't know, but he's on.
He wasn't on the front lines dealing with these assholes.
Marketing. It's just him saying it so the customer feels
Okay, technically
powerful.
he owned a business, but do you think that guy ever dealt with a customer? Hell no.
Well, it says it was popular. Well, it was popularized by him and other pioneering retailers at the time.
No, it's to get people in the door, but
Yeah.
again, they're not dealing with these entitled assholes, and that's only gotten worse over time.
It says, see also, the customer is not a moron. She's your wife. Is a famous quotation attributed to advertising executive David Ogilvy in 1955.
Ogilvy.
Big
dog.
Yeah.
Ogilvy. Sorry.
It's all right.
I don't know him.
He's a pretty king shit in the advertising world.
Oh, I know nothing about the advertising world.
I remember Ben Ogilvy, former Detroit Tiger, Milwaukee Brewer. That's how I know the name, but I also know the advertising magnate. Anyway, whatever variation of that is, it's bullshit in all of its incarnations, especially now. People have never been more entitled. Fuck them.
All right, so we've only got about 90 seconds here before our song runs out.
I'm gonna say no bone.
Oh
my dear goodness.
What the?
Outrageous.
It's my first time hearing it. You said Fozzy covered this. I'm sure I'm going to catch flack from Tooge for this, but it was fine. It just didn't blow me away.
And plus, I guess you don't have a history or nostalgia for it, so maybe that
Not
has something to
really.
do with
I mean,
it.
I've never, like I said, I've never heard
Like
it before.
I've been a fan for a while, so it's a foregone conclusion that this is
But it could have very well have been my first. I've in several instances in the show where I've heard a song for the first time, like "Easy as It Seems," for example, that I loved it instantly. This was not that for me.
Well, Nick, you can take control of the sound clips.
Are you insane?
Is that really an egregious opinion? I didn't realize this was such an iconic song in the Maiden.
I have a feeling there'll be major upheaval in the comment section.
Really
this week.
Okay, well, I'm fine with that.
Yeah,
Not
I mean, it's-
intentional.
Fuck. Okay, stay here. And get butt fucked by 12 Neanderthals, bitch.
Okay, James Woods is not happy with my vote.
No, he's not. He's upset.
What's wrong with you, man? You slipped.
This surprises me. I mean, I've heard the title before, but it's not on Live After Death. Which, by the way, I'll be appearing soon on Maiden A to Z to talk about Live After Death with John from Deep Purple podcast and a couple other people.
One of the all-time great live albums.
I had a slightly dissenting opinion to that. It's similar to this.
Wow,
But you can
okay.
you listen to the episode when it comes out. Great guys who do that show. But look, I like Trooper, Wrathchild, Flight of Icarus, Aces High, 2 Minutes Midnight, Wasted Years, Revelations, all of that. Love, love, love. This one just, I mean, I'd give it a 7 out of 10, maybe. It's not rock and roll boner numbers to me.
Ah, you're full of shit. Fuck you.
Yeah, that was perfectly done. See, if my vote brings that soundbite out, it's all been worth it.
Well worth it.
It's genuine. I'm not, it's a thing to just put out dissenting opinions just to get that reaction. That's my honest reaction. So
Right. That's fair.
What an incredible thing for an umpire to say to a coach.
That's great.
Usually they just stand there. They just stand there and take it. Not this guy.
Yeah, no, he'd heard enough. That was to Earl Weaver, right?
Yeah. I don't remember the umpire's name, but
I
yeah,
don't, but-
Earl Weaver's the manager.
Play it again.
Yeah, hold on. Let me get it for you. Here we go.
Ah, you're full of shit. Fuck you.
Yeah, you'd think it would be the manager.
Well, I
saying
mean,
that.
well,
But
I'm
he's
sure
probably saying
I'm
worse.
sure
Earl
he
Weaver
lit
was
him
saying
up,
worse.
yeah.
Yes.
I know, but you would think that an umpire would never resort to that.
I gotta
type
watch
of,
that video again.
That's good.
So many, just out of control, verbal outbursts. And,
Well, and the theater of baseball umpire manager arguments is the visuals of getting each other's faces, kicking dirt on each other. I mean the whole the whole pomp and circumstance of it is hilarious.
Is Earl Weaver the all-time greatest for that?
Yeah, Billy Martin would be
I think,
up there. I think
okay.
Leo DeRocher was known for
these
that.
are the guys I remember though from the 70s. Was Billy Martin who managed the Tigers for a while, but was the A's, Yankees.
Yeah.
Earl Weaver, of course. Lou Piniella was would throw his hat around and pull bases up and throw them around.
That's classic.
yeah.
Incredible.
And if I gave it some more thought,
Who
I could pick some, but-
was it Pinella? Who was the one who took the base and was like, "I'm leaving"? Like they got ejected and he just took the
That
base.
sounds like a Pinella.
That might have
move
been
to me.
Pinella then.
Yeah.
How angry do you have to be?
I'm sabotaging the game temporarily by stealing the base. There's nothing you can do.
I wouldn't even be able to do it for like a chess game. You know what I mean? Like a mental chess game. We're like, all right, I've got to go out there and establish dominance on this guy. Which, because that's part of it.
Yeah.
They're not genuinely that mad every
Well,
time.
I think
but
and I think if I'm not mistaken, from some years ago, The Bronx is Burning, the miniseries that came out about Billy Martin. I'm pretty sure there's a scene in there where he's basically talking to the umpire like, "Hey, I'm gonna do this now because the crowd's gonna love it."
It's all theater.
Yeah,
It's all
that's funny.
theater.
and I recommend that if anybody hasn't seen that. The Bronx is Burning.
I've never seen it. No,
It's very well done and very interesting. It's got the Summer of Sam thing mixed in with it, so it's just it's kind of odd,
Okay.
but yeah, very very good. I guess mini series I'd call it.
Is it
I think it was ESPN Films.
It's like acted or it's a documentary?
Yeah. Oh yeah, no,
really?
it's John Turturro.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
All right.
yeah, highly recommend it. Very good.
I have to check that out. And last baseball thing, my all-time favorite meltdown in sports history is when Andre Dawson was throwing bats onto the field.
Yeah, and you send us that GIF file all the time.
All the time, yeah. Every time I get mad about something. I couldn't believe that when I was watching it as a kid because he kept getting more. Every bat that was in their dugout, he threw on the field.
Yeah.
Not just his. Every player's bat was thrown.
Well,
incredible.
you can never forget the George Brett pine tar
Yeah.
explosion.
Yeah, I think the Andre Dawson one was just special to me because I was watching it live.
Well, yeah,
You know,
no,
and I was
yeah.
like, "What is he
No,
doing?"
that's
And
He won't
that's-
stop.
And Dawson wasn't prone to
Yeah.
outbursts like that. That was more of a Sean Dunston
right.
thing. But when you've got the guy who was voted MVP while playing on the last place team,
Yeah.
you don't know what you're gonna
He
get.
deserves some more respect than whatever set him off. Some bullshit umpire thing.
Yeah. All right. Well, hey, if you disagree with us, we're sorry.
That's just the fucking way it is.
Well, it's not disagree with us; it's disagree with me.
No, maybe there's someone who's on your side and doesn't like me.
Oh, the
and
way you guys are talking, then probably not.
Well-
They're all going to feel the same way as that umpire did,
Yeah.
and they're going to react like so.
like so.
Ah, you're full of shit. Fuck you.
So great.
Yeah, and plus he's cutting him off by making that sound.
It's just dismissive. Yeah.
Yeah.
So the verbal hand wave, the dismissive, get lost. Fuck you.
And one more time, and let's just focus. You can't pick out a single word, but just focus on Earl Weaver jabbering in
It's
the
just
background.
white noise
Yeah.
in the background.
Ah, you're full of shit. Fuck you.
Screaming. Blown out voice screaming. All right, well, let's take a quick commercial break. Be right back.
Yards of questions.
Motherfucker, I give them.
Sing away.
Yes, Chief.
Oh man.
Yes, indeed. We've found ourselves here again.
We've been getting more submissions.
Yeah, we have. Let's see
good.
this one. There's one I haven't reviewed here. I don't even know what that.
I think all the listeners are imagining you're putting your head into a giant booth like the referees at a football game checking out the instant replay. That's about what Andy looks like right now.
Okay. We're gonna have to call New York on that one.
Yeah. Chris and I are just standing around him.
All right, this is fun. This week's Yardo Questions comes to us from Raphael.
Hello, Raphael.
Right into it. No greeting.
Good.
1.
Okay.
Were you ever in a situation where you had to make a choice between buying one of 2 albums when you couldn't get both that you think might have been a turning point in your life?
Where it's like you're at the store holding both of them, looking back and forth.
Yeah.
That's a good one.
I've been in that situation many times. Either as a young kid or in college, where you're kind of broke and you want to, fortify the collection, but you can't afford everything you want. I'm trying to think. I know I've been in this situation before. I'm trying to think what it would be.
I want to say, and I might get the other album slightly wrong, but when I was a kid, my dad took me to Woodmar Records in Hammond, and looking at cassettes. And at that point, there was such mystique for me for the Kiss makeup era that it came down to I'm looking at Unmasked, and I'm looking at, and I want to say it was Animalize, and I'm looking at both. And Unmasked had this strange comic book makeup era thing going on in the cover. Went with Unmasked. At first it didn't grow on me. Well, at first it didn't grab me completely. But after a little bit of time grew on me. and became, I'd say, one of my favorite Kiss albums at this point. One of them, top 10, maybe even top 5 at times.
Top 5,
maybe
geez.
Depending on how I'm feeling, because it's so kind of out of left field sonically.
Right.
That sometimes it's something I just really am digging completely.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, going with like an admittedly wimpier sounding album, I think it's something to do with forming my tastes.
All right. Yeah, that's fair. Unmasked was definitely something that I discovered while doing the Kiss portion of the show, and other than the Ace contributions, I like pretty much every song on there. So, yeah, I agree with you on that. Man, I can't really think of anything. I know I've been in this situation many times, but nothing.
When you bought your ELO 8-track, there wasn't something else there that was awfully tempting?
That could qualify because it was something where it was a double album, so it cost more, and it probably resulted in me not being able to buy 2 8-tracks at that point.
Okay.
That could qualify.
What else would you have been looking around for at that period in your life?
I don't know. At that point,
like a Boston album?
Yeah, I had that one. Was probably getting into like what year would that be? Like late 70s, early 80s. I was starting to get into, like, as we talked about, the corporate rock, like at Paradise Theater by Styx and High Infidelity, REO, and the Journey albums with Steve Perry.
Would you have had like any of the Cars albums back then?
Oh yeah,
on
absolutely.
8-track? Yeah, that was 8-track
for
material.
sure. Yeah, I definitely had those first 2 albums. Great, both of them. I don't know. Here's one that's coming to mind. And like I said, being a young kid, I didn't have a ton of money, so anything that I bought was probably at the expense of something else. And I would say another album I bought that I found disappointing, and it was my first album purchase from this guy, and I never purchased another album from him again, and that probably shaped why I believe he's somewhat overrated, is Hard Promises by Tom Petty. I liked The Waiting, and A Woman in Love was a good song, but like the rest of it there was nothing on there that appealed to me, and I was not happy about that, and I never bought another Tom Petty album.
Okay.
So there's my answer.
All right. Question 2. Is there a band that you consider good but is ruined for you by its weakest link? For example, terrible singer, inadequate drummer, what have you?
Let me think here.
See, because I'm trying to think of one where I would actually put into question the talent and or work ethic of one of the performers, instead of it just being the voice doesn't appeal to me, which I guess it could be it. That could be it.
You just don't like what that person is doing.
Interesting.
These are tough questions. Let me think here. There's got to be something.
See, all right, I guess I have one. And I think I've mentioned this on the show, but it's not anything to do with the performance. In fact, that aspect of it is quite the opposite. But I'm gonna go Sublime, just for the fact that you had 3 guys who were really great at what they did. The vocalist was outstanding.
Outstanding.
Outstanding vocalist, yes.
The guy who's dead.
The guy who's dead.
Okay.
And he was the lyricist also. Some of the worst composed lyrics in any popular music you can find in Sublime songs. Terrible lyrics. Not all. Like there are great moments where it's like, okay, that was a cool lyric, but a lot of it's just really like throwaway rap lyrics.
Yeah.
Just and not, you know, some of it's clever, a lot of it is garbage lyrically.
Yeah.
But and I was a pretty big fan, probably my late teens, early 20s.
Yeah.
Pretty big fan, just because musically I thought they were so great. But yeah, I'd have to say it's the only thing about the front man was just that I think the lyrics were awful.
Yeah.
But I mean, as far as performance goes and melody and guitar playing even as well, I thought the guy was really good. Just one aspect of his talents, I think it might have just been the time and just whatever he was into, kind of music. But it just, looking back on it,
not really your thing.
Pretty embarrassing, a lot of the lyrics.
Yeah. They were such a huge band, though.
Oh,
after he died, like when we were in high school, like the end of your high school, beginning of my high school time.
Yeah.
They were probably the biggest band in the world to people that age for like a summer or like part of a year.
Yeah, and it's incredible that they no longer existed.
Yeah.
I mean, I guess it probably added to it.
Yeah.
There was this whole dramatic thing going on where this band just took off and they don't exist anymore.
Yeah.
But
yeah, that was completely lost on me. But again, I was way out of that demographic by then.
Yeah.
I mean, kids used to come into the cafe and play Sublime songs at open mic night, and I was like, all right, great, you know.
Andy and I played one in our first band. We did a Sublime cover.
I think I remember that now. I'm trying to remember what the bass line was. Yeah.
What was the question again? Sorry.
It's a band you consider good, but they're ruined for you by its weakest link. Terrible singer, inadequate drummer. Nick said bad lyrics.
And I'm not saying they're ruined, but it's harder for me to listen to it now.
Yeah, I mean, I guess the only thing that's coming to mind, again, there's probably some others, but I'm going to have to go, and it's, you know, pretty easy pickings, but Dream Theater with the singer, it's like, that's a band that's like obviously immense talent musically, but when the singing and the vocals start, it's just like, I wish this wasn't happening.
I thought you were going to say his goatee was the weakest link.
Well, that's pretty bad too. I mean, he's like, he's not a good looking guy. He's definitely put on weight over the years. It's just, there's nothing really good about that guy. He doesn't measure up, like, from a talent perspective to the other guys in the band. And I don't like Dream Theater at all, really, but you can obviously appreciate the musical talent of the guys in the band, but he just seems so out of place and just doesn't belong. But he's been in the band since the beginning, right?
I think so.
I don't understand why they keep him around, you know? But
probably owns the name or something.
or you know, he has incriminating photos of somebody else in the band. But yeah, I just don't get.
Question 3. Following question 2, what replacement would you suggest that fits the band and would make it great to you? Up the Boners.
That's good. That's good. That's a very interesting follow-up for both of us, I would say, because I'm trying to think of who writes great lyrics that would fit into the Sublime universe. It's a very intriguing.
For my thing, I would say top of my head would be Jeff Scott Soto. Didn't he front Yngwie's band for a while?
He's performed with everybody.
Yeah, but he's immensely more talented than James LaBrie, and I don't know. I don't know if anybody even cares about Dream Theater lyrics, but I think just from a presence standpoint and from a quality of vocal standpoint, he'd be a major upgrade. So, and I saw one of the shows over here at the Shed in Tinley Park. One of the handful of shows where he fronted Journey after Steve Gary's voice gave out. And it was one of the first couple shows, so obviously things weren't syncing up as well as they could be if he had a dozen shows under his belt, but it was pretty good. He did a good job, but he's just got a way better presence and more vocal talent than James LaBrie by any measure. So,
yeah, Soto's one of those guys that it seems like at one point or another everybody has tried to get in their band.
Yeah, but he just can't seem to stick with anything either.
Yeah, he's kind of like the Ripper, where it's just he kind of performs with everybody.
He's a Halle Berry of metal vocalists. Like
he's also on made out with Fred Durst.
Yeah, he did. Yeah. So extremely desirable on the surface, but just keeps getting dismissed by everybody he or she is associated with. So.
And for mine, I'm thinking of somebody who I can picture writing lyrics for a sort of a ska, new wave, punky kind of a band. And just in the interest of time, the first person that came to mind that seemed to fit that bill I would be curious to hear Sublime, if the melodies and the music were all written by Brad Noel, and then Elvis Costello wrote the lyrics.
That's funny.
I think it could work. Or could have worked.
Why do you say that?
I don't know, because that style of music Elvis Costello had a hand in. He would get into the sort of new wave, punky ska kind of stuff sometimes.
Yeah.
And he's got a cynicism in his lyrical writing a lot of the time, which I think would be fitting.
Yeah.
And he's the first one that came to mind. But it's an interesting proposition, I think.
Well, there you go, Raphael. There's your Yardo
Look what
questions.
kind of madness you've made me eject from my mouth.
Thank you. And if you want to send a Yardo questions, go to potofthunder.com. Click that widget. Send not one, not two, but 3 questions to us. We will read them on the program. What do you want, LinkedIn? I'm sorting my emails here because I moved the Yardo questions to the used yards folder. Anyway, all right. Add some songs to the listener submission list. We'll probably be back there next week again. Maybe. We'll see.
For your turn?
I don't know.
Who's after me?
Chris's turn.
Yeah, I'm up
Chris
now.
is after me. Okay.
Yeah. Because I had, Asshole.
Oh,
Gene
yes.
Simmons.
And then Mama picked
Airborne.
Yeah. She had 3 good pulls, actually. 3 interesting ones. So.
And she had a 4th one that I didn't even share, which I told you guys was Mind Playing Tricks on Me by Ghetto Boys. And I was like, I'm not even going to show her that one.
Yeah.
That would not be ideal.
No, that's a good one, but she picked the right one. That was a good episode.
Yeah, agreed.
All right, well, Chris has some story he has to tell us, so I've been waiting this whole time trying to get this show over with so we can hear the story.
We got to get to the clubhouse.
Yeah, so off we go down the pod poles to the clubhouse, and we're going to hear this story. So we'll be back next week.
And I think I'm going weak.
You want to tell the story on mic?
What?
Do you want to tell the story on mic? No, you don't.
No.